Hey friends, welcome to the video, and in this video I'm going to talk about how to feel reconnected when you are going through DPDR and anxiety. One of the most common side effects of DPDR, which is basically in the name itself, is to feel either disconnected from yourself or disconnected from your surroundings. People can describe it as sort of seeing yourself from outside yourself, or having a piece of glass in front of you, or everything just feeling a little bit sort of out of focus and just a little bit not there. Exactly why that's happening and some things that you can do about it. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Dan and I help people recover from DPDR using one-on-one coaching or the Freedom course. And if you are a subscriber, then welcome back. One of the worst symptoms with DPDR is feeling detached, whether that's from your emotions, whether that's from yourself, so you're feeling like a robot or you're just on autopilot, or from your surroundings. And this can come and go. It can be there 24/7. It can get stronger throughout different periods of the day. It can get stronger if something happens to you or if you think a certain thing. For me, when I was going through my recovery, I basically had it 24/7. I had derealization. I felt completely attached to myself and I had emotions and I could feel them, but from, sort of the outside world, everything just felt a little sort of just weird and distant. And as I started to recover, that and a lot of the other symptoms just basically started to lift until in the end they all lifted and, I'd reached recovery, so to speak, and that's where I am right now. The thing I know that you're going through as well at the moment is that you're either feeling really worried or scared in a number of ways. Maybe you're worried that you're not going to be able to get out of this. Maybe you're just scared about what's actually happened. Or maybe you're also getting a bit frustrated and a bit annoyed and a bit angry because maybe you're kind of a bit used to it now. Maybe you're not really that anxious, but for some reason, the symptoms are still there. I get it, and I was like that myself as well. I'd like to invite you to sort of look at it a little bit differently right now. Right now, you're trying to fix the symptoms. You're going, how can I get reconnected? How can I get rid of these symptoms that I've got? And I'm here to tell you that that is the wrong mindset to go with. And a lot of people fall into this trap where they might do certain techniques or sort of get advice from other people to say, how do I feel really attached? Which is why you're sort of watching this video. And the very first thing that you've got to do is realize that to get reattached, you've got to stop wanting to try and fix and get reattached, whether that's grounding or sort of whatever technique you're doing. You want to do your best to avoid trying to fix the symptoms because the symptoms are all down here, but above that is the anxiety which is causing the symptoms. So if you take away a symptom or try and fix it, all anxiety is going to do is just keep dripping the fuel into the symptoms just to keep them there. So to get rid of all this stuff, you've got to look at the higher level. You've got to look at the anxiety. And once you do start to sort of pick apart the anxiety and it fades away, then there's nothing to drip down into the symptoms. So that's the first thing that you need to do. You've got to work on processing the anxiety, and then the symptoms are going to fix themselves. One of the things that a lot of people struggle with too, and I bet you're struggling with this as well, is being scared of the symptoms. And I know that it's really, really difficult not to be scared. And I'm not saying don't be scared, because if you could just snap your fingers and not be scared, then you wouldn't be in this situation in the first place. But a lot of people perpetuate and keep their DPDR and anxiety going on longer than it should, and they keep themselves trapped in the cycle because they are afraid of the symptoms. So you might be wondering, well, what do you actually do to not be afraid of the symptoms? And here's the thing, is that I'm not asking you to try and not be afraid. I'm asking you to just accept where you are right now. And if you recognize these thoughts and these feelings as just anxiety, because that's all they are, then that is going to start to teach your brain that really this is nothing to be overly concerned about, because you are going to get better. You are going to be able to reset your relationship with anxiety, and your nervous system is going to cool down. And everything's going to be okay in the end. These symptoms are going to go. So if you continuously remind yourself again and again that when you have these thoughts and these feelings and you start worrying and you start getting scared, if you say to yourself, look, this is just anxiety and things are going to get better. I don't have to worry about this. I know that everything's going to be okay. And eventually your mind is going to start to hear that message. And this is going to start to teach your mind and remind it that these things aren't important, because Your symptoms aren't important when it comes to recovery. That sort of leads me on to my last thing, which is to keep living your life as if you were living it without anxiety. And I know that can be really tricky if you're in the heat of a panic attack or if you're in the midst of crippling DPDR. You really need to do your best to keep living your life as you would without it, because every time you change something, every time you say, oh, I'm not going to do this because I'm anxious, or I don't want to do this because I'm scared, whatever it is, you're telling your mind again and again in those situations that this thing has to be feared. This is something that we have to be scared of. And fear and being scared, that is anxiety, So you're teaching your mind again and again that I'm anxious, I'm anxious, I'm anxious, I'm anxious. And that's not the place where you want to be to recover. But look, once you actually get into recovery and you do start to see results, it's not work, it's just you living your life, but with just a few tweaks here and there about your mindset, because it's your mindset that got you into this and it's your mindset that can get you out of it. And that's something that I tell my clients when I'm helping them, and I also teach about it in the Freedom course too, because it's so vital to your recovery, and it's these foundational things that are really going to take you to the next level and get you to the next steps of recovery that you want to get to, and ultimately to full recovery. And look, if you do want to check out the Freedom course, which is the best online DPDR course there is for recovery, then go check out that. A link is in a pinned comment and also the description. And until next time, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.